everyone, so we're going on making some more Christmas decorations. We're going to make a Santa Claus wreath. We have 2 yards of the red tulle and a wreath form from the Dollar Tree. I cut them into about 6-inch pieces, about 3 inches wide, and we're just taking 2 of them and we're going to tie them on. Now, right now I'm just tying them on the innermost ring, and I did singles for those, but then a little while later, I was like, oh, this is going to take forever. So I took 2 pieces and we went around the 2 outer rings and then the 2 middle rings and just made it that way. Now, this is a piece of black felt ribbon that I had. Black velvet ribbon that I had left over from a project. Thought it would be great to make Santa's belt. So we're just wrapping it around. I stopped in the middle with the red tulle, as you can see. And now I'm just wrapping it around all the rings of the wreath form, and I'm just going to glue it down and onto the rings and to itself. So I have this little 2x3 frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's white, but I want to make it gold for his belt buckle, so I'm just going to take everything out. I'm going to take the clips that hold the picture in. What I didn't realize, I should have realized, is that this paint wasn't going to stick to it because it's plastic. So I gave it a coat of the white chalk paint so it has something to adhere to, so the acrylic paint has something to adhere to, the gold. And we just gonna give that a coat of the gold acrylic after I'm done. So here's our wreath form, and with the belt all completed, here's our gold frame. Now I'm just going to glue that down in the middle to make a belt buckle. And I bought these letters from Amazon and they were way too small. Actually, they said home and I just cut the H-O off because I wanted to make ho ho ho. But I do have something. I'm just giving the wreath a trim here just to take any of the extra long pieces off. My son found me these at Micheal's. So we are going to just make ho 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 on the top of the wreath, and we're just going to glue it. We're going to start in the middle and we're going to hot glue it down. We're going to press it down and we're just going to make it say ho ho ho. I'm really glad my son found those letters for me at Micheal's because I think it really sets us apart. It looked too plain without the letters on it, and I was just going to let it go. So I really appreciate him for that. I hope you guys like this one, and here it is completed. So this is a Dollar Tree vase, a Dollar Tree Christmas tree, and some Epsom salts. We're taking some Mod Podge, and we are just going to coat this whole vase with Mod Podge except for one oval in the front of the vase. We're going to leave that blank. So we're going to give this a really good coat of Mod Podge. Then we're going to take the Epsom salt and we're going to sprinkle it all over the wet Mod Podge. And here I got a box so we didn't make a mess. And here I am just sprinkling the Epsom salts and pressing it down. Don't worry if you get it a little bit in the blank oval spot. You can just take a damp rag and damp paper towel and clean it off. And you can really clean it up that way. So we let this dry for most of the day and it's pretty stuck on there now. I'm going to take the tree and put some hot glue on the bottom and put it right down in the center of the vase. And now we are going to take our snow, our fake snow from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to sprinkle it in there to give it a nice base, make it look like a snow globe. My son gave me an extra puck light that he had, and it has like 12 or 13 different colors on it. It does all kinds of things, and they were cheap on Amazon. I bought some actually. They were 10 for $19 today. Now I'm going to take a piece of the floral foam and we're going to cut it around the puck light because we're going to glue this on top and put some florals in there. So there it is. We're going to just, I tried to glue it as least as possible and it didn't stick. So then I just take the glue gun and I give it a good coat around the edge. I want to be able to get into the puck light still because it has the battery. So whoops, and I knocked my stuff over. It was just a mess today. Anyway, so now I'm just going to take the same wreath that I used on another project and I'm just going to cut pieces off and make a little floral arrangement. And that puck like just sits right on top of the vase. So it won't fall in, but you have to get it centered or it's a little wobbly. But nobody's going to be touching it. So as long as you get it centered and you press the button, it has all different colors. And you can see how pretty it looks. And here's the remote, and you can see that it has like, I don't know, 15 or 16 different colors and different effects. And there it is completed. On to the next project. So we're going to make a little hanging ornament with the cross stitch hoop. They're really cheap. I got it at Michael's. It was like $1.25, I think. So we're going to take some of the antique wax. This was a new one. I thought this was my old one, so I didn't realize that it hadn't been opened. And we're just taking a paper towel, and we're just going to go around the outside and the inside of both of the rings and give it a good coat of the antique wax, and we're going to wipe it off. I probably should have worn 2 gloves because I get it all over myself, as usual. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it a coat of the antique wax just to make it look pretty. Now that the antique wax is dry, we're going to take it and we're going to split the ring, and we're going to make like a quarter on each side. So that's what it looks like. And we're going to twist that screw down really tight, and we're going to take some hot glue and we're just going to run it along the outside of it. Then we're going to take, I think these are 1-inch styrofoam ball, and from the Dollar Tree, we're going to glue it right down into the center. We're going to make sure it's glued in there good because it's not even on all sides. Now we're going to take this wreath and we're going to cut apart some of the pine and the berries and all the different greenery that's in it, because we are going to make a little hanging ball topiary, if you want to call it. This is some lamb's ear that I had left over from Easter. I'm going to use some of that. I think it's a pretty green that contrasts with the pine. And we're just going to start, see, I'm poking the glue gun into the styrofoam ball and then putting some glue in it so it gives it some extra hold. And we're just going to go around and just flower arrange basically to whatever we like. Now we have the styrofoam ball all covered up with our greenery, and it makes a nice little topiary. Now I have this red and white baker's twine, and I thought it would look nice for Christmas. So I'm just going to tie it around the screw and make a knot, and there you have it. This one is done. And here it is hanging. Gonna put it on a tree but this is done. We're gonna make like a little snow globe or lantern. I don't know what you want to call it, but this is just the jar from the Dollar Tree and one of the Dollar Tree black candlesticks. Now we're going to take the same thing. We're going to use some Mod Podge, and we're going to cover the whole entire thing in Mod Podge, and then we're going to take some of the Dollar Tree sparkle snow, which is pretty much just glitter, and we're going to cover the entire thing in glitter. And it gets a little messy, but that's glitter for you. There's our box and our snow glitter. And we're just going to take it and we're going to open a corner of it and we're just going to sprinkle it on there. We're going to give it a very liberal coating with this snow, the glitter snow, and we're going to let it dry. So this is after it's dried. I took some hairspray just to hold it on there. It does help hold on the glitter. And I'm just giving it a coat of hairspray. Okay, I missed a clip where I took the top outside and gave it a coat of black spray paint. But here I am just using some E6000 and gluing and some hot glue and gluing the jar to the top of the candlestick. And we'll get that on there nice and good. Put the lid back on. And now I'm just going to make a little bow for the front. And I am very inept at making bows. So I struggle making bows, but we end up getting it done. And then I wrap a little piece of ribbon around the top of the candlestick once I'm done fidgeting with this bow for about an hour to make it look good. And then we're just gonna glue it to the front, and we're going to end up adding some greenery. I'm going to take a piece of the ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around the top of the candlestick here so it gives the bow something to stick to and gives a little bit of decoration for the back of the candlestick. So here we are, just putting that on there, and then we're going to take the bow and we're going to just glue it to the front. Then we're going to take a little bit of the greenery and we're just going to give it a little hot glue and glue it behind the bow just for a little bit of added decoration. So we do a little bit of greenery on that side and a little bit of greenery on the other side, and we are about done. I didn't know what I wanted to use there, so I ended up using the pine, I think. Yep, use the pine. And this one, oh, we have one more thing. We are going to take some of the fairy lights and we're going to put them inside. I'm sorry if I'm moving around too much. A lot of people had commented that they couldn't see what I was doing, so I changed the camera angle. I hope this works out better. I hope you guys are able to see what I'm doing. You can comment below if you like this angle better or not. But here it is, and then we can turn the lights on and off, and it's done. And there it is, lit up. We're going to make a little snowflake with some craft paper. This was like $8 for all 30 sheets. We're going to make 7/8. We're going to use our ruler and we're going to measure out 7/8. That's how wide each piece is going to be, and we're going to need 9 pieces altogether. And so that one piece of craft paper, it was plenty to make all 9 pieces. Then we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut little slits. Not all the way through, but almost all the way to the bottom of each piece. So we need 9 of these altogether. Oh, and I'm sorry, we didn't use the whole length. It was about 4.5 inches. So then we take a toothpick, we take a little bit of hot glue, we roll it around, roll the craft paper around the toothpick, and then we slowly add more glue and keep wrapping down the toothpick. So it makes a little, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like a frond. And this is what it looks like. So we need 7 more of those. And there's all 7. Now we're going to take this piece and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut almost all the way through. We're going to leave just a little bit at the bottom. We're going to cut the end off, and then we're going to take the glue and we kind of roll it up on itself. We're just going to keep rolling it and gluing it. So this one has no toothpick in it. This one is just rolling it up on itself. Now when it's done, we're going to spread those little fronds out and we're going to push it down, and then we are going to take our 2 of our, I guess for a better word, fronds, and we are going to put them on opposite sides. So we're going to do like 3 and 9, 12 and 6, 2 and 7, 11 and 5. And it ends up being a snowflake shape. We just have to keep hot gluing them down on top of one another until we have all 8 glued in. I had an extra one because I didn't like the way the one turned out. Now I'm taking just a little piece of the scrap and I'm going to just cover up where all the toothpicks meet in the back. And then we are going to take a little snowflake from our project on the other video and we're going to glue it in the center. Now you can use these to hang on your tree, you can use them to hang in the window, you can make different colored ones, but it is complete. And I just have it hanging on a little hook here. We're going to make a little sign with the towering tumble blocks and this frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I really wish that I had bought like 10 of these frames. They're the wooden frames. They got the real wood background. Yeah, I really like them. So right now I'm just using this ribbon as a circle, and I'm going around the edge of the ribbon to make it a perfect circle with the towering tumble blocks. And we're going to make a little wreath. So there you go. Now I wish I had marked where it was because I start going off a little bit. What I did is just stop. I started over, and this time I actually marked it where it was going to go, and it makes a much better looking circle in the middle this time. Now that those are glued down, we're going to take a second row of the towering tumble blocks, and we are going to put them, we're going to stagger them so they're different than the bottom row. And we're going to glue those down. And this time I was like very careful and glued one at a time and made sure that they stayed in a nice circle and kept straight. And there it is with the both rows, and it's a much better circle. Now I'm going to take some of the greenery and some of the red berries, take 2 pieces for each side, and we're going to glue them down in the middle. First the left side and then the right side, and then we're going to glue the other 2 pieces on top of those. Give it a nice bunting feel, and then we're going to put the red berries in the middle. I think the red berries and the green really pop against the natural wood and the background. These were just the Dollar Tree berries, and they came on a wire of 3. So I just folded the wire underneath of it and glued it down to give it a little bit of stability. And now these are the Scrabble tiles from the Dollar Tree, and I spelled the word joy, put it in the bottom corner, glued the O down first, and then the J and then the Y, just to keep the spacing the same. The middle was missing something. I was thinking snowflakes. We're going to paint them red. After I painted them, I decided I didn't want them in the middle, so I decided to take some of the little mini bells from the Dollar Tree and string them on some cross-stitch fabric or cross-stitch floss and make a little hanger to put in the middle. Now I'm just deciding how long the length I want, and I'm going to tie it in a knot. When I get it to the length I want it to be, I take a little glue and I glue it to the bottom underneath the greenery. And then for the snowflakes, I didn't want them to go to waste, so to make the wood pop a little better, I took both of them and I glued them to the left-hand side. And this project is done, and I have to say, this one is my most favorite out of all of them. I really loved how this came out. And here it is, completed, just hanging on a hook. Now we're going to make a wall hanging. We're going to make a little gnome. So I have these dowel sticks that I bought from Lowe's. And I have some of the green thick yarn that was in my stash. So right now I'm just measuring it out because this is going to be his hat. I needed 10 of these. So what I did is cut 10, and then we're going to fold them in half, and we're going to attach them using a slip knot to the dowel rod. So we're just going to, it took me a couple times to go the right way, but anyway, then we're going to just put all 10 on there. Now that his hat is on there, we're going to take some of the Dollar Tree white nautical rope, and we're going to split it into, so I cut a length of it and I'm separating it into 3 pieces. We don't want the thickness of the actual rope, we just want a third of it. And then you kind of use the one piece of it and you slip it underneath the hat part, and then you pull the hat part tight. And this is going to be his beard. Now what I did with this, I didn't like it. I thought he needed a thicker, fuller beard. So after after we get through the first going across with it, I go back and I add some more to the actual beard, so his beard is thicker and fuller. Well, you want to try to kind of hide the nautical rope behind the dowel rod. So here I am adding another piece to his beard so it makes it fuller. And then what I actually do is then I glue it down to the back of the dowel rod to hold it in place so you can't really see it. And then pull his hat knot tight and give that actual glue in the knot to hold it in place. Now after that big long explanation and we got the beard in there, I'm just measuring to make sure that we're even on both sides of the dowel rod, and I'm actually going to take the glue gun now and glue the hat part down so it stays in place. Now that the hat's in place, we're going to just take some of that golden color yarn. We're going to just make sure his hat's straight, and we're going to tie a knot to the top to give him a little floofy thing at the top. And then we're going to take one of the wooden balls, glue him down in the center for his nose. And then I've taken some of these holly berry looking plant, and I'm going to glue it on his hat for decoration. And after thinking about it for a minute, I'm going to put a little pom-pom at the top of his hat, and then another piece for the holly. And then we're going to take some of the holly berries and put it on top. Give him a little pop of color there for his hat. Straighten them all out, and you can either hang them up by his hat, or you can put a string and hang them up on the dowel rod. Whatever you like. And here he is hanging on the wall. And here they are all together, all lit up and standing up. I hope you guys can see them all. Please let me know your favorite. And if you could, like, share, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.